All right. Grace and peace multiplied unto all you guys out there. I'm Christiam, disciple, watching my channel. All praise be to the Most High God. The Most High God comes first. This stream is brought to you by L.I.V.E products. L.I.V.E, live now, we're live now. First of all, shout out to the Trinidad and Tobago world champion, Christiam Walcott, winning at a second gold medal. His first gold medal was in the Olympics. His second gold medal now is in the World Championships in Tokyo, Japan. He throws the javelin, and he is again #1 in the world. Shout out to him and also the fellow Trinidadian who came in second with the silver medal. That is some great accomplishments. We're a very small country, a little island actually. And for this gentleman to do that twice, to be top in the world twice, both in the Olympics and the World Championships, is a big accomplishment. So shout out to Keyshawn Walcott on that. I just wanted to say that to my fellow Trinidadian and black person, by the way. Let's just get into this. So like I said before, the stream is brought to you by L.I.V.E products. Quick ad before we move on. This is my sponsor. Here we go.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. These are the remaining L.I.V.E products from last night. I have 2 pumpkin punch. I have 2 peanut punch. I have a CMOS. I have 2 small granola and a raisin. And I have 1 big granola and raisin. They're going fast. Place your order now.
Okay. And I got a little something for you guys. For those of you who like entertainment, you can find it on my channel. But I'm just going to play this little song for you guys. Hope it pumps you up.
And sitting up here, just now we're going to have the aerobics going on. There's some football out there, session of football going on. Understand? Listen, man. Anybody telling you you can't do this and you can't do that, what's that good thing? Let him know now. He said, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. He said, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. There's no. Go as far as you can go. There is no. Go as far as you can go. 'Cause he said, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. So, a lot of people are detractors, or they like to discourage you from doing certain things you're passionate about, things you love. Don't let nobody stop you from doing that, because the he that we're talking about in there is your creator, the person who made you, or shall I say the thing that made you. And for those of us who know, it's all about the green light now. It's about going, getting it done. Once it's a positive thing, once it's a thing that can elevate people, just do it, man, as Nike would say. I got one more for you, because I know things are rough for a lot of people all over the world. Their governments are betraying them. Check this out.
Blessing to my people, blessing to the nations, blessing to my people, blessing to all nations. We living on the edge of time. Yaga, 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 yaga. We living on the edge of time. Yaga, yo, yaga, yo, yaga, in the edge of time. Yaga, 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 yo, yo, living on the edge of time. Yaga, yo, yaga, yo, yaga, yo, yaga, yo. Things are getting tougher. Things are getting rougher. We're living on the edge of time. Pockets less are fuller. Seems that we the dollar is living on the edge of time. I say we living on the edge of time. Yaga, 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 living on the edge of time. Yaga, 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 edge of time. Yaga, 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 yo. On the edge of time. Yaga, 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 yo, 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 yo.
All right, cool. All right, now, so let's get into what we're going to talk about today. All right. Today, shout out to 4KO. 4KO, check out his video out there. The most recent reports is that Netflix prepares to bid for Warner Brothers and DC Studios. As you already know, Superman ain't making much money now. 615 million. That was on Friday. Today, it's still at 650 million, just a couple hundred million difference. Actually, not even a couple hundred million. I think a couple tens of millions, tens of thousands. Sorry, a couple tens of thousands difference right now. So it has ground to a halt. International Kume's 261.2 million, which is very, 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 very low. It's underrated. And overrated. And then, of course, the domestic 354 million. Maybe it'll turn that. I don't know. And it's been there at 650 million over the weekend. It's going to still stay at 650 million. It's not going any much further than that, which means this movie has grossed a total Kume of 650 million. Basically, that is less than Justice League. That is less than Man of Steel. That is very, very poor. And given this movie's budget, not the reported budget, but the actual budget that it was, which was over $300 million, and the fact that its marketing campaign probably approached $200 million, this is abysmal. This is terrible. Right? So, this movie needed to make, if we're being real with you guys, it needed to make over $800 something million to really start making money, just like Man of Steel. It basically I believe it's a similar budget movie to Man of Steel, and when you count for inflation, that means its budget would have to be over $300 million, which is why I think that Warner Brothers, they put the budget less than what it really was for two reasons. One, they want to steal some money, and two, I believe that they wanted to paint a positive picture. But even no matter how you look at it, no matter how you twist it, and there's a lot of spin out there, we know Warner Brothers is in a lot of problems because we've seen that Warner Brothers is being sold off. Warner Brothers Discovery is being sold off. And so the two reports on that, let me see if I can show you guys that, is here. So Netflix is reportedly considering to place a bid to buy Warner Brothers. This was reported by several media outlets. This is Screen Rant in this case. Screen Rank. I thought it was Screen Rant, but Screen Rank. And then you also have Paramount, which is reportedly making a bid to buy Warner Brothers as well, which Collider reported on. But we actually went to the Wall Street Journal and we saw that actual article. So I wanted to just tell you guys, and Wall Street Journal obviously is a reputable source. I think that if it's anything that should get Warner Brothers, I think it should be Paramount, not Netflix. The reason I'm saying that is because Netflix is known for streaming service. It basically streams movies, and therefore the big screen is not the priority. There are no feature films on the big screen is not a priority. And I think if you want to see any kind of film, you do want to see the big screen still. You still want to see the big screen. You want to see it on as big as possible a screen. And so I would prefer Paramount over Netflix any day, time. And then the way how Paramount is moving, with Dexter and with the fact that Michael Bay may be coming back to do Transformer movies, like they're going back to what the fans want. They're going back to what their roots. I truly believe that the best fit for the Snyderverse would be with Paramount, would be, with a studio that wants to go back with what works, what the fans want. So I like Aaron Fisher. I would prefer if Paramount goes to get Netflix, which is a much more comprehensive studio. Yes, their streaming service is not that great, but in terms of movies and movie making, this could make Paramount, a real major player in the game. So that's what I'm looking forward to. More than Netflix, to be honest with you. But, if Netflix could put their money behind it, I guess Warner Brothers could. The studio Warner Brothers could, do the feature film. So I guess there is a way for that to happen, but we will see. Now, Having said all of that, let's get into Twitter for a second here. And Adrian Curry, I don't know who she really is, but Adrian Curry says, I'm watching the new Superman for the first time. I don't know how to describe what I'm feeling about this. It's Tiff says, because it sucks that badly. We walked out of the new Superman movie while in our own living rooms. That's what she said. So she thinks it sucks, which is crazy, because I know that's not a Snyder fan. These two people they're just ordinary people. Super Tuber Eddie says, Happy Batman Day, everybody. Today is Batman Day. Long live the Bat. Here are a few shorts of my newest figure in my collection, Batman 2.0 from Hot Toys Official. Somebody really should make the Batman movie. So this is Ben Affleck's Batman, his new hot toy. Right there. Looks good. Good cinematography too. Oh my goodness, that looks like Ben Affleck so bad. The chin and everything. And look at the torn cape and all of that. That's really crazy. I guess this is Batman v Superman, Batman, because of the suit and everything. Oh man, but it looks so good. Shout out to Super Tuber Eddie. That looks dope, bro. It looks really sick. You check out Super Tuber Eddie's channel. Ben Affleck said, and Ben Affleck's the Batman. This is the guy who does make the Batfleck movie, Batman Day 2025. Anything is possible. Ben Affleck leaves the door cracked open. He asked if he would reprise his role as Batman. He said anything is possible. Shout out to Ben Affleck, by the way, as well. Ben's a little older than I am. I'm telling you, man, I feel good, so I know Ben could do that strenuous job. Make the Batfleck movie, Batman Day, DC. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All day, every day of the week. I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? All right, now. A little bit more of Snyderverse movie. I'm just showing you the detail that's put into the last day of filming of Man of Steel Superman. Here we go. Shout out to Supergirl, by the way. Hold on, let me pull that back.
Now, why don't we try putting the cape on him? Here, come on, let's put the cape on him. Here. All right, guys, one last comment on the film. When we left Martha and Clark in the cemetery, they had a little flashback where they saw Dad. That was a scene we just shot kind of impromptu. I felt like it was really cool to kind of revisit this experience with Clark at the clothesline and then take him into the city via these shots where you're not really sure who that is. Take a bunch of lenses in the video, man. Comes off. Comes off, right? The whole drawing to be normal. I think I got it wrong. Okay, here. Oh, wait, it's supposed to have wheels? Yeah, it's got it. Yeah. Do the this is the speed walking list. It's the flash. Let's see it. Is that your pedaling motion? What do you think, John? You ride bikes? Yeah, no, that's good. Okay.
Oh shit, that's cool. That's really freaking cool.
You were being teased by sort of the icons of Superman, or the Superman that we know.
Okay, so here we are in the Daily Planet. It's that key moment of you finally get to see Clark as the traditional Clark, who everyone expected to see him as the beginning of the movie. And this is a really important phase because Lois is the only person who knows who I am.
Yeah, maybe that's it too. Maybe your stuff's here, and maybe she comes in like this. That way
she has to look at him. It's like you're working. He comes over to do his thing, and you're kind of just like, okay, this is like entertaining.
And talk to me about the interaction between us in the office and trying to play it cool.
I actually love that moment for Lois and Clark. I think it sets up a really great future relationship, and I think it really, you get a peek inside. It's like we're revealing a secret to the audience that only we know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And Lois is, one of the major reasons why Cal chose Earth. And there's that wonderful purity there. There's that friendship. There's that honesty with each other, which they probably haven't experienced anyone else. Cal brought about a different insight for Amy about the truth and humanity. And Lois brought about a truth to Cal about, humankind and them being worthy.
Well said.
That last scene could be the first scene of another movie, certainly. It's Clark Kent entering the Daily Planet, meeting Lois Lane, hanging out with Perry White. It's all the things that everyone knows to be Superman. And so it's sort of our introduction, if you will, to the man that would be Superman. And that's what the whole film has been. And that's what the film was for me. I wanted to make a movie that in the very last moment reconnected you to what Superman was all about and let you have that breadth of experience of coming from Krypton, growing up with him, letting him have this epic battle, and now finding him in the place that him as Superman. And it was an amazing opportunity for me, and I had an amazing time doing it. Worked with amazing actors, incredible crew and cast, amazing producers, and really just kind of the best time I've had making a movie. So I hope you enjoyed this little behind the scenes look. Thanks for checking it out. So I guess until we do this again, thanks.
I thought that was extremely important. I thought it was extremely important for you to get the context. Man of Steel was never about a Superman story. It was about the formation of Superman. And I think a lot of people never quite get that. They don't get that this is about, it's like Batman Begins. Okay? It's an introduction to Superman. It's not Superman. Wonder Woman movie was about how Diana became Wonder Woman. Right? It's an introduction to Superman. So of all the Superman stories, a lot of people like to say, well, he doesn't behave like Superman because he wasn't Superman. Like, don't you understand that? He's not Superman. Okay. When he becomes Superman, it's different. So I think, I love that insight. Shout out to Supergirl on Twitter. She's Snyderverse. What is she? Snyderverse FR. Shout out to Supergirl on Twitter. Culture Fake says, after the studio won 13 Emmys, legendary filmmaker Zack Snyder is halfway into achieving EGOT status. Emmys, the studio, Oscars, Zack Snyder's Justice League, and Army of the Dead. Only Grammy and Tony Awards are left. Okay, caveat on the Oscars. The Oscars, they didn't win a full-fledged Oscar, okay? They won a Oscar award, which has to do with fan chair moment and fan favorite. So I'm just saying, I understand what he's saying, but still, at the same time, Culture Fake, where you have to keep it in context. Okay, I think that's about it for Restore the Snyderverse. So that obviously, sorry, my bad. Oh, this is a big one. So I want you to, I definitely want you to hear this. You ready for this? Restore the Snyderverse. Restore Zack Snyder's Justice League. Zack has said we would see more of the New Gods in Justice League 2 and 3, including Granny Goodness and the Furies. The whole Kirby madness let loose would be fun. Writer Chris Terrio says he would have explained how Darkseid lost Earth and Anti-Life due to Apocalypton betrayal and Palace intrigue. I definitely want to see this. This is way more interesting than anything DC is really offering right now. And definitely would like to see the continuation of Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3. I also want to see the Batfleck movie before that happens because I I do believe that the Batfleck movie has some elements in it, even though it's a standalone, that will kind of, sort of kind of go into Zack Snyder's Justice League. So I do want to see the Batfleck movie before I see Zack Snyder's Justice League 2. I'm just saying. Okay. So Restore the Snyderverse. Shout out to Restore Zack Snyder's Justice League. All right, let's go into something else now. Free Palestine. I got so much to say on this, so let's try and get into it as quickly as we can. We start off. Fight Back Podcast talks about why are the Jews allowed to rape non-Jews. First and foremost, what did I say here? Where do I go with this? I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say about that. Let's move on to something else here. Let me help you, dumb Zionist. Here is a pre-1948 map. The new map of Palestine and the Holy Land. Actually, if you go into your Bibles, if you have an old Bible, you'll see the land of Palestine as well. So this is not surprising at all. Jimmy J says, if you want to make a difference and ensure your money truly helps someone, please consider supporting my brother Sharif. Sharif is asking for a donation through GoFundMe. I'm not sure how that money is going to get to him, but I hope and pray for the best. The UN requested ceasefire in Gaza 6 times to stop the genocide. The U.S. said no for 6 times. So definitely complicit in the genocide that's going on. Of course, Conan O'Brien had some comments to say about the suspension of Jimmy Kimmel and the promise to silence other late-night hosts for criticizing the administration should disturb everyone on the right, left, and center. It's wrong, and anyone with a conscience knows it's wrong. Shout out to Conan O'Brien. Well said, my brother. There are fascists right now in the country, but you guys have to stop it. This was concerning COVID and Tony Blair. Listen to what this asshole had to say. Tony Blair called for all those who refuse the deadly, useless experimental COVID vaccines all as idiots. They're not useless. They're deadly. There is a use for them to kill us. He then advocated for mandatory vaccination and for those who refuse to be locked out of society. Now he's pushing back hard for digital ID for everyone. You all see the obvious end game here. Our governments betray us, my friend. Governments worldwide are betraying us. They want to kill us. They don't give a fuck about us. I've said that over and over again, and I'm sorry about the F-bomb, but I really feel it. I feel this to the bottom of my core. Abu Bakr Abed, who is a journalist, says, breaking, the resistance in Gaza published a photo that said was of Israeli captives at holes with the inscription, a farewell photo at the start of the Israeli operation in Gaza due to Netanyahu's intransigence. Here they are. These are all the hostages here. I don't know if you can see them. Their names are all there. And they're saying a farewell. It's not because they're going to kill the hostages. They're not going to kill the hostages. But they know that Netanyahu is looking to kill everyone, including the hostages, everyone there. They're looking to bomb the place and kill out as many people as possible. So the resistance is just putting up this photo to let the whole world know what's going on. Max Blumenthal, shout out to Max Blumenthal, 2 hours ago said the Israeli media openly states the Israeli military is leveling entire neighborhoods in Gaza City to force the population to leave at gunpoint. This is what Netanyahu calls voluntary migration. The crime of the century continues apace. What they've done for most of Israel, that is the territory now called Israel, they have moved the Palestinians out successfully many times before, and they're looking to try and finish the game right now. This is from Y.net, which is an Israeli post. It's translated. In the past 2 weeks, as part of efforts to push Gaza City residents to evacuate ahead of ground offensive, the IDF has increased strikes on high-rise buildings, flattening structures that tower over the enclave. At least 20 multi-story buildings have been destroyed by Israeli airstrikes, according to the military, which said Hamas used them for terror purposes, which is bullshit. New satellite images reveal the scale of the devastation across Gaza's neighborhoods. And this is a before and after. The destruction before August. If you look at the destruction before August above and after September, you see most of the area has now been obliterated. Abir says, I want you to hear these two doctors from Australia sending their last words, fully aware they could be killed any second. What they're describing is horror that defies belief. 70% of their patients are kids. I want you to listen very carefully.
The situation was disaster. Here's Dr. Nada Abarob and Dr. Saya Aziz. We're two doctors from Australia. We're here in Gaza at the moment. We arrived in the middle in Al-Aqsa Hospital first, but the situation was disastrous, where we're having kind of kids coming after a strike. With most of like, let's say 70 to 80% of our patients are kids and pregnant women. And the situation was terrible, and there was no water, no food, and people living in the hospital everywhere. It was very common for a person to be the only survival of their family. Everyone has lost most of their family. It was very hard for us to get in, and there was a lot of restrictions. We were not allowed to bring any baby formula, any money, and the cards don't work. We are hardly surviving and hardly able to help anyone. There's no equipment. They're down to the very basics, running out of working scissors. There's no soap in the theatre room to scrub in, no gloves, nothing at all. We're treating patients on the floor, mass casualty after mass casualty. They're using all the weapons. However, when we came north to Al-Shifa Hospital, it's a nightmare. It is a nightmare. We're doing this video because we know that we might die at any time, unfortunately. Our accommodation is in the old delivery room. As you can see, this is the hospital. It's all bombed, but the bombing is still happening. When we came from the middle to the north, we saw people are evacuating. Instead of 20 minutes on the road, it took us around 8 hours to reach. As soon as we reached, bombing after bombing with the Apache, F-35, F-16, rowboats, all sorts of weapons attacking us from everywhere around the hospital. The number of patients and the number of dead bodies arriving are ridiculous. So we're just basically people dead. We have more than 1,500 people still dead under the rubble in the hospital. Today, they bombed just in front of the main entrance of the hospital. 2 days ago, they did the same. The issue is we leave our accommodation is an outside walking distance. So we could be at any time at that side of the bomb as an international. We're not even we've been told we'd be given an evacuation order. No even evacuation order as internationals. So the situation here is just disastrous. I can't describe it. In the middle of the mass casualty today, there's no internet and no electricity. We're still out of Wi-Fi, so we can't communicate with our family. We can't put our picture up. And they're asking us to stay silent, otherwise our life will be in danger. What does that supposed to mean? We're just telling you what's happening. We're not allowed to show the photos because it's so traumatic and not allowed to post. But we're documenting this as part of what's happening for the future. Because someone needs to see this. Someone needs to help those poor people. Most of them are just kind of people, or they're just kind of hitting things randomly. There are doctors. Doctors here don't come to work because they're dead. Their family members are dead. Or they've been told to go to the south, at least to save themselves from being killed. So anyone who stays here, they know that they will be killed and they can't come back. So the situation needs to stop. I don't know what to say, but I'm asking for help. And I know that our life is in danger too. So if the help was kind of coming from any part of the world, just can anyone be able to stop this terror and horror, please? Anyone, could you please stop it? People here had enough. We had enough. There's no word to describe. Not sure, sorry, Dr. Said.
Hi, I'm Dr. Saya Aziz.
So it's terrible. It's horrible what's happening. These are Australian doctors. They're not even allowed to do this video. We finally got this video. I don't know how old this video is. And a lot of people are getting killed off. A lot of people are dying. Let me talk about Glenn Greenwald. This is what he has to say in response to that. Australian doctor who volunteered in Gaza says hospital staff are also starving. Obviously, they are starving as well. Glenn Greenwald also posted this. Any person or entity that describes Israeli atrocities, Gazan journalists, human rights groups, Western doctors, and nurses are instantly maligned as anti-Semitic liars. Here are two very courageous Australian physicians in Gaza describing the reality of the IDF. Listen. Mohammed said the United States will not share any Israeli intelligence or elaborate on its own intelligence assessment that Hamas used Gaza's Al-Shifa hospital as a command center and possibly as a storage facility, while White House says Israeli officials say no further evidence of Hamas activities in the hospital was scheduled to be made public for now. Israel has been claiming for years that Hamas had a headquarters under Al-Shifa. Biden has been parroting the same thing without providing any evidence. Kneecap says, as part of No Music for Genocide, we have formally requested a record label, Heavenly Records, to remove all Kneecap tracks from DSP streaming services in Israel. Free Palestine. No Music for Genocide. Shout out to Kneecap. Dropside says, listen, Lizzie Process, a Brazilian activist and GSS organizer, describes the collective life on board the ship Sirius. Eduardo Galeano once said that the utopia is like the horizon. Every time you take 2 steps closer, it moves 2 steps further away. Here on Cyrus, it feels different. Every time we take 2 steps closer, utopia only moves 1 step away. We're catching up to it. We're learning through daily practice how to live collectively, how to put the well-being above the comfort of the individual. That's what sustains us as we move also closer to Gaza day by day to break the siege, she said. Lizia Proenca, Brazilian activist and GFS organizer. So the flotillas are still going. We've talked about that. Here is a young girl, about 20-something years old. Hold on a second. 20-something years old who is chronicling the events in Gaza. She's still alive, amazingly. So here we go. She's in a fast, obviously. She's getting some kind of food to survive. Here we go.
Hey, today I'm gonna teach you a new word, which is nuzuh. Nuzuh means forced displacement, aka every Palestinian's nightmare. The forced displacement is a war crime in the international law and any accord, agreement in any time of history, and it cannot be the solution for anything. It's not a humanitarian evacuation. It is a forced displacement in order to emptying the land before stealing it. And actually, after yesterday, the U.S. used the fifth veto to stop any declaration of a ceasefire in Gaza. It's so clear that the U.S. literally wants Gaza City and the north of Gaza and maybe other areas, maybe all of Gaza Strip. And maybe this displacement is just temporary, and then after that, they will work to get us all out of Gaza Strip. Anyways, this is just a modern colonization, a modern way of colonizing other lands while pretending like wanna build or rebuild the place with smart cities, etc. Then after that, giving it back to the people. We don't want these smart cities. We don't want any help from the U.S., from Israel. We don't believe any of these efforts. We don't believe even any other forces to be in Gaza Strip, even Arabic forces. We want our homes and the rubble of our homes, and that's everything we want. It cannot be something even happening, even real, that someone is forced to leave their home to go to build and live in a tent. Cannot be a solution for anything, cannot be justified under any reason. Okay? Leaving a home to go to a tent because Israel is mass bombing the residential places and the homes over the heads of the people. Something even happening, even real, that someone is forced to leave their home to go to build and live in a tent. Cannot be a solution for anything, cannot be justified under any reason. Okay? Leaving a home to go to a tent because Israel is mass bombing the residential places and the homes over the heads of the people, and then bombing the high density population places like buildings, high buildings, like schools, etc., in order to empty these places. This cannot be right. I don't know. It's not working in my brain. I cannot understand that how the world is letting all of this to happen. People are leaving their homes to go to nowhere, very crowded places where Israel will continue to bomb us. No decent bathrooms, kitchens, safe places, only some tarps covering a small area where children, women, infants, elderlies, everyone is gonna be living on the sands. No way this is the solution of anything. There's no way this is gonna happen again, and it's happening in front of the world and no one is doing anything. We've been through this for 15 months, remember?
No sé si me estoy enterando. O sea, este. Vale, pero yo no puedo hacer. O sea, estamos hablando de este gesto.
Sí, este. Y se puede hacer con la izquierda.
Con esta no me sale, pero era este, ¿no?
¡Basta!
Con las dos. Una con la otra, da igual. Vale.
So,
Hey, today I'm gonna teach you.
so the Spanish is saying "fuck you" to Netanyahu. Okay, so we have gotten basically the whole world is disgusted with what is happening. We've got vetoes from the United States once again, really just making the United Nations into a pappy show. But guess what? All these diplomats don't really give a fuck about Palestine. That's the truth. Because they don't give a fuck about you in their own respective countries. So don't think that your governments care about you. My government doesn't give a fuck about us as people. Okay? The previous government didn't give a fuck about us either. But at least they tried to show in some small way how they cared. Okay? There are a lot of people on the breadline now. CPAP workers aren't getting paid. I listen to a stupid ass apologist for this present fucking regime talk about, they're getting paid. No, nobody's getting paid. Not the URP workers, not the CPAP workers. Okay? So I'm just saying, they don't care about poor people. They don't care about the people, the public. They care about corporations. They care about big business. And they're all linked to the same fucking cabal. They're all in the same Freemasonic lodge, no matter what sector they are. So fuck all these people. I'm going to say one more thing. I'm sorry about my F-bombs. But, that's why they say seek ye first the kingdom of God. I'm sorry if I cursed. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I apologize. I don't like cursing either. But it just comes out. Seek first the kingdom of God, because there's nothing down here. You got to show love to your neighbor. You got to be your neighbor's keeper. We got to look out for each other. No fucking government's going to look out for us. Okay? They look out for themselves. That's all I got to say for now. I'm going to catch you guys later. I am Christiam Disciple. Peace, guys.